Hello, everyone, and welcome to Inspiring Hope. I'm your host, Lois Herman. And today I have a very special guest who is an inspiration for all of us, and especially for our children. Eva Goulette from Dancing Jaguar Inspirations is going to share with us how she got her inspiration first and then what she does to inspire our children and empower our children with knowledge of energy and chakras and so much more. So, welcome, Ava.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Tell us about you. I know that you've shared your story before. You've been on, it's been a little while ago, but tell us a little bit about your story because it's pretty fascinating.
Thank you. Well, I have always been a very spiritually inclined person, and I have always loved working with children. So, those two things have been passions of mine my entire life. And at one point in time, it's been some time now, quite a few years ago, I was involved in a head on car crash that really kind of took me out of the life that I was living. And I was in California at the time. I needed to move back to Maine and live with my parents. And it was 9 years before I was able to live on my own again. So I had a long recovery from that brain injury. And I settled into my own home and started studying shamanism. And as I was doing that, I discovered that my brain was healing. The neural pathways were reconnecting again thanks to the drumming. And I started receiving downloads of information at 3:20 in the morning about this new way of supporting children and teaching children. And I gathered that material over time and started sharing it with children who were my friends' kids. And
Mhm.
they loved it, and the parents loved it, and everyone wanted more. So each time I would receive more information, I would share it. And then over time, I was asked if I would be the voice and the face of this work for the children of the world, because this work is how we can change the consciousness of our planet in a short time. Like we could do it in 20 years if we had millions of kids learning that we are made up of mind, body, and spirit. And that this is what I tell children when they go to school, they nurture their mind. When they play sports or go to recess, they're nurturing their bodies. And when they come to spirit camp, Dancing Jaguar Spirit Camp, they're learning how to nurture their spirit, the essence of who they are. So I taught Spirit Camp for a few years after I agreed wholeheartedly to be the voice and the face of the work. And then I started hearing the message that the world is ready and the children are waiting. And then I realized I needed to create a teacher training program and start sharing this work with others. And now there are about 85 Spirit Camp teachers in North America.
Wow.
And I hope we start having a global reach soon and we can start teaching children in other parts of the world. Because I have heard from people in many different countries that there's no work for children like this in other countries. And I'm being asked to bring this to their countries. So the whole foundation of this program is educating children that we are much more than just our brains and our bodies. And we teach them about energy and that they are an energetic being, and everything around us has energy, and we can connect energetically to even the natural world. And we teach them that in a very child friendly way. There's this beautiful book that teaches children that we are a spirit in a
Mhm.
human body. And it's a precious book. That's the book that I read to children first when we start Spirit Camp, so they understand what is Spirit Camp and why are we here.
Is it your book?
No, it's not my book.
Okay. Okay.
No.
Yeah.
Um, so um it's a new kind of education. And
Yeah.
I've had a psychologist say that, like, this is the missing piece in child development, because we're forgetting that the essence of who the child is needs to be nurtured as well. And how many adults do you know that grow up and they're in their midlife and all of a sudden they are having this spiritual awakening, and they realize that they had all of these sensitivities when they were a child. They could see energy or hear spirits or see spirits, or sense other people's feelings, and they just pushed it all down because nobody talked about this stuff. So I'm really excited to be able to give children a vocabulary to talk about the experiences that they have, and to embrace their gifts and their sensitivities, and know that that's what makes them unique and special. That's what makes them a gift to our world. So I'm just passionate about this, as you could probably tell. I
which is
love talking about
wonderful.
this.
Excuse me.
That's
And do
okay.
you not find that most children, especially coming in now, come in with a knowing they have intuitive awareness of what is going on? So it seems as if what you're doing is giving them a forum to explore what they already know, to remember what they come in with, instead of sit down, be quiet, let me tell you what to believe. You're giving them an opportunity to explore via nature and natural occurring elements and energies, correct?
Absolutely, because children are so incredibly wise, and they're just coming from the other side of the veil. So they are
Yeah.
still so connected. In fact, I was just reading the Washington Post today has an article about children who remember past lives. That's one of the feature articles in the Washington Post today. So
Wow.
this is
Yep.
becoming more mainstream to
That's
talk about
wonderful.
this
Yep.
and to explore. And what I love is the fact that children who come to these programs that I offer have the ability to talk about it with their friends and when we're in circle, and it normalizes it for these children, because in the past it has not been safe to talk about it,
No.
because they would get ridiculed or people would say there's something wrong with them. They would feel isolated and just not feel like they fit in anywhere.
That's true for us adults as well, isn't it?
Yes. In fact, I had a meeting with somebody yesterday who said, I can't talk about this stuff with
No.
my husband or
Yep.
my friends because they think I'm crazy. So yes, it's just giving children a voice at a very young age to be able to understand and realize this is normal stuff.
Right.
This is natural. It is a part of our humanness, and let's embrace it.
Yes. And this gives them the opportunity to grow up embracing their knowing, their truth. So they're the ones that are going to become the future teachers when these other people start to wake up and ask the questions. Because we're going to
Yes.
need these children. We're going to need them to come in and help us with this beautiful planet that we live on.
Absolutely. And because they have grown up understanding the balance between mind, body, and spirit, and they're
Right.
given the tools to be able to recognize when something is out of balance for them, and they'll know what they can do and how they can kind of integrate tools and techniques into their lives to find that balance again. They're going to grow up with a knowledge that children before have not grown up with. I wish I had these tools when I was a child.
Yeah.
So they're going to grow up and into adulthood as people who understand that we have to maintain this balance in our world, in our personal selves, and in the world around us. And because of some of the work we do with children out in nature, and they understand and feel the connection they have to the natural world,
Right.
they will grow up with a reverence for the natural world. And that is where we're really going to start tipping the balance
Mhm.
between our society today, who really, is taking constantly from Mother Earth,
Correct.
and the children who are growing up with this reverence for Mother Earth. They will be making decisions very differently as they grow into adulthood and have the power to make decisions on behalf of their communities or their families.
And because they're being given a voice, given an affirmation of their knowing early on, they'll have the confidence to be able to challenge some of their peers and create opportunities for new discussion points.
Absolutely. That is so true because one of the things that I focus on with the children is understanding the difference between thinking something and knowing it from your heart.
Oh, yes.
And that is such a difference. So,
Mhm.
as children who are being exposed to this new way of learning and experiencing their humanity, in all aspects of it, they're going to be growing up understanding that heart connection and how important it is to be connecting to that when we're moving forward. And I want to share another thing that is really important that we provide the children tools to understand is how to connect to their inner wisdom, how to connect to their intuition, how to trust it, how to understand what it is. And when children can grow up understanding that the answers that they're seeking are within, they can find the answers within themselves. And they have the tools, the knowledge, and the understanding as to how to connect to their inner wisdom and how to trust their intuition when they get those hits,
Absolutely.
they will grow up so much more confident in their ability to make decisions that are in their highest good. And I mean, even when they're teens, think about children today and how, or teenagers today, and how challenging it is
Yes.
for them with peer pressure or with all of the stressors that are impacting them and their mental health.
Mhm.
But, you know, if these were children that we reached at 5, 6, 7 years old and taught them how to manage
Right.
their inner dialogue and how to trust their inner wisdom, how to develop confidence in their ability to find their own answers, I think there would be so much less peer pressure
Yes.
because kids would be able to stand in their truth. They would understand what that means.
It's
So
it
there's so
sounds
much
a lot
power.
like it sounds a lot like more the way that I would perceive the Native Americans or indigenous people raised their children one with the land, where
Yeah,
you had somewhat of a grandparent figures that were spending the time allowing the children to experience life in nature while the parents were busy working and providing for the family. So it's again coming back to nature and allowing the child to explore what things taste like, feel like, what it's like to walk on a log instead of sitting in front of something with their, using their thumbs only.
right. Absolutely. That is so true. So, one of my goals is to help children disconnect from technology
Yes.
and connect to themselves, to their community, and to the natural world.
Beautiful, beautiful. One of the things that as you're speaking, I'm reminded my business typically says mind, body, spirit, and I've recently introduced the fourth aspect of our being, which is the emotions, which is the
Mm,
heart. So there's the mind, the body, the spirit, and the heart, which is the emotions. And what you're talking about is allowing them to explore their own emotions instead of spending so much time stifling them, hiding them, masking them with drugs, alcohol, other substances, exploring the heart, the emotions, and validating that intuitive knowing that they have.
exactly. Yes. And that is such an empowerment, an empowering way to bring up children today. And
Yes.
I find so much hope in hearing or receiving feedback from parents or from teachers who are seeing the difference in the children when they're growing up with um, more tools than your typical child grows up
Right.
with, or more knowledge. And it's amazing to see children thriving and seeing their eyes light up because as children are learning this stuff, they're learning about who they are.
Sure.
That is so exciting for them. Like sometimes when I'm teaching a workshop with children and their parents come to pick them up, the child is so excited. They're like on fire. It's like their soul, that light is
Sure.
just burning so bright. And they can't wait to share with their parents what they just learned. And it might have been something as simple as being able to feel the energy in their solar plexus, really
Hmm.
like focusing on that. So the steps are tiny that we're taking with the children, but it's opening up an entire world for the children that typically we don't introduce children to these things,
Hmm.
but millions of adults use these tools in
Sure.
their everyday lives. I'm sure you do, I
Oh, yeah.
do. It's just a part of my life, like breathing and waking up in the morning. I just use specific tools and techniques every day to self regulate or when I need to support myself. And why aren't we teaching those to kids?
Absolutely. I have a wonderful story about that. One of my beloved teammates she spends a lot of time with her grandchildren, she's their Oma, and she has taught them how to set sacred space. And um, Aria she does her own version of sacred space. And Sharon has recorded and made a TikTok of Aria's sacred space, and it is amazing. And she's got her own, well, they say you're supposed to do 4 columns or 8 columns. I prefer 4. I mean, she has her knowing, and she's amazing. And she's only 9, but she's learned how to do this to keep her energy safe and protected. And they're sponges. They want to learn this at that young
Yes.
age. And
Yes.
what we have to be able to do is help them to continue the process of learning and absorbing. So what does it look like? What do the spirit camps look like to you or for
Well,
the
they're
children?
they're 5 days long in the summer,
Okay.
and each day has a different subject and a different theme. And our first day, we are just creating all of the sacred tools that the kids are going to be using throughout the course of the week.
Okay.
And my teaching perspective, I'm creating the container for the rest of the week.
I see.
So as we're creating the sacred tools and the children are creating and making things, it feels like craft day to the
Sure.
kids, and it is if you're looking at it at the surface level. But they're getting to know each other, they're getting to
Mhm.
know the teachers, we're building our friendships, our relationships, and we're creating that safe space for children. So as we go, further and further into the week, when the work gets a little bit deeper, they feel safe and they feel um, um, they have that level of trust that it's
Mhm.
okay to share.
Sure.
And then Tuesday, it's all about energy. We spend the morning um, learning about the chakras and how children can start feeling and sensing the energy in their bodies, and what are they, what are the chakras and the colors and the meaning and how it impacts their health and well-being. And then they learn how to use pendulums and gemstones, and learn how to check to see if the energy is flowing or if it's blocked, and what to do if it is blocked. And
Mhm.
so it's a lot of um, very playful curriculum. The
Okay.
kids are learning with games, crafts, songs, and activities.
Mhm.
And then in the afternoon, it's learning about auras, how to see them. Many kids can see them. I had
Of
one
course
child
they
say,
can.
why hasn't anybody ever told me there's a word for auras?" They know this stuff.
And they do.
They do. So afternoon on Tuesday is all about auras and learning how to see them and sense them, and what does it mean and what does it feel like. And then Wednesday, the children learn how to do shamanic journeying to
Okay.
discover who their power animal is. And that is such a huge thing for children because they're learning that they are never alone.
Mhm.
They have spirit helpers, and it is by far the favorite thing at spirit camp
Sure.
because the kids can develop that relationship with their power animal for the rest of their lives.
Of course.
Yes, and so that's a really exciting day. And then Thursday, we kind of go inward in a different way, and we do a little bit more social emotional learning, where we'll introduce the children to who is their inner critic. Who's the one
Uh,
that always is telling them you're not smart enough, or you don't have any friends. So we do some fun activities around helping kids identify who's behind that voice. And
right.
then we introduce them to their inner champion. And that
Mhm.
is a fun module for kids because they learn how to, they set their own, or they create their own tools for how to manage the voices of their inner critic and inner champion. And there is some really funny things that kids come up with,
Oh,
or
I
they're
can only imagine.
yeah. Then we have a lesson on personal power and what it feels like to lose your power or to be disempowered, and what happens when one is bullied or witnesses bullying, and how do you hold that energy in your body, and what can we do to take steps to empower ourselves. Well, we can shield our energy, so we have a
Right.
whole section of shielding in there.
Good.
And we end that module with children being completely powered up in a meditation that we do. So they are back to the powerful being they were at the moment of their birth. And then we have lessons on, let me see. Oh, then I guess then we go outside with kids and we do a lot of work in nature and really understanding our connection to the natural world and listening to nature from our heart
Mhm.
and not just with our ears, and then seeing in nature with our heart and not just with our eyes.
And smelling and, all
Yes.
of the senses. Nature has got so
Yes.
many flavors.
And we open the children up to the idea of the nature spirits
Okay.
who are playing with us around us. And
Yeah. The
this
fairies and the sprites and the
yes.
unicorns and all the yes.
Yes. So then, so we spend an afternoon outside, and then the children build a fairy house or houses for the spirits of the nature
Huh,
beings that we have been studying in the afternoon. And then on Friday, there's many more tools
sure.
that the children learn. They keep putting tools in this spirit toolbox that they
Okay.
take with them at the end of the week. So we're continuing to fill tools in the toolbox, and then they have a closing ceremony, a sacred ceremony that family and friends are invited to attend, which is just magnificent. So many people cry during that
Yeah.
ceremony because they realize the depth of the work that the children have done throughout the course of the week. I mean, the kids all feel like they have just played all week and they've made
Right.
these incredible discoveries, but the parents understand that these are life skills these children have just learned. And I remember having one mom tell me that she felt like her child went through a personal evolution in 5 days. She came in knowing nothing, and she's leaving with a wisdom toolbox for life, knowledge, skills, tools, techniques, things that can support herself whenever she has a rough day moving forward.
Wow. That is so powerful. And the spirit camps that you have, where do people find them? Where are they located?
Well, they can go to spiritcamp.net. That will
Okay.
take you right to our website, and you can go
Okay.
check that out. Spiritcamp.net. Yeah. And I'm always looking for adults who would like to learn how to do spirit camp in their communities.
Mhm.
So on our website, dancingjaguarinspirations.com,
Mhm.
you can go to the teacher training page on that and learn how you can become a spirit camp teacher. And I am doing a live in person training July 29th to August 3rd
Okay.
in Maine. It's a 6-day training. And then people can stay the next week if they'd like to and do an internship with me at my flagship spirit camp. So, um, yeah, the opportunities are just amazing once you learn this curriculum because you can use it in so many ways to support the children in your life.
I'm sure these can be adapted
Mhm,
to if you're working in a school, you
mhm.
can actually take some of this and incorporate it into the curriculum at schools. Is that possible?
Yes, I have many teachers who have
Okay.
taken the teacher training program, and I actually bring these teachings into a private school that I work part time at
Okay.
as a mindfulness teacher, but they're also really open to having me introduce the chakras to the children.
Sure.
And, it's just amazing as children start learning more about how they function as an energetic being.
Right.
The conversations are amazing.
Mm.
In class yesterday, I had a child say, my mom told me she was really stressed. So I told her that she should do some mindful breathing into her solar plexus because that's where her power is. and she won't be stressed if she feels more powerful. And then I told her if she still was stressed out, that she should go hug a tree because it would help ground her. I'm like, yes, the children are going to teach the adults.
That's right.
Yeah.
How many
So
times have we learned that the children are our best teachers? Yeah,
absolutely. I had that written on my website for the longest time, and I'm not sure if it's still there or not. But
yeah.
yeah, the teachers, I mean, the children teach me as
Right.
much as I teach them. Yeah.
Oh, how exciting. How exciting. So they can have children sign up for spirit camps in
Yes.
various different areas.
Yes.
And there are also people who love to work with children that can sign up to be an instructor.
Yes. And I want to share one more thing because
Sure.
as children, as I mean, as parents have been taking their children to spirit camp, I heard so many times, but I need this for me too. This
Yes.
is the camp I needed when I was a child. Where were you when I was little?
Mhm,
So
mhm.
I have created a spirit camp for adults, and I do offer that program both in person and virtually. And there is a spirit camp for adults teacher training program for
Okay.
those people who would like to learn this curriculum because they have adult clients who are kind of waking up and realizing that they have so many questions because they were sensitive as a child and they stuffed all of this stuff down,
Oh,
and now
it's
they
so true.
realize, what do I do now? And they have a zillion questions. So we've created Spirit Camp for Adults, and one of the adults has described it as a metaphysical smorgasbord for adults because there are so many things that you can, kind of take a taste of as you're going through the 5-day training pro. I mean, the 5-day program for adults, and then you can really say, well, I was really drawn to the whole stuff we did about chakras. So I want to go immerse myself in chakras. Or I really love the shamanic journeying part of the program. I'm going to go study that. You're getting snippets of all kinds of different tools, techniques, and modalities. And so it's giving you an opportunity to taste test where
Sure.
you want to go with your focus
Love it.
afterwards. So there are many, many adults who have said, I need this teacher training program for my clients because I know all this stuff, but I don't know how to teach it in a way that's going to come out really clearly and concise for my adult clients. And I don't want to spend 2 years trying to figure that out. So I'll just
Sure.
take your course.
Oh, that is wonderful. And
Yeah.
that's dancingjaguarinspirations.com.
Yes.
We'll include all of that in the information. So, Ava,
Thank
this
you.
is amazing. So amazing. You've got, when is the next class or the next camp or first one of the season?
First one of the season is in Nevada City, California.
Oh,
And then my last one of the season is in August 12th, I think, that week in New Sharon, Maine. And then there's a few in between there. And there's also a teacher training program coming up in June in Nevada City, California, and one in Waterville, Maine in August.
so you're busy.
I'm busy. And
You're
there's a
coming,
Spirit for Adults teacher training program
mm,
in August as
so you're
well.
coming into your busy season, summer
Yes,
camp.
this is my busy time of year and I love it. I thrive. There is nothing I would rather be doing. This is what fills my heart and soul with joy.
Oh, then you are on purpose. You are on your
Yes.
mission.
Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely. And I'm so grateful to podcast hosts like you for just being so open to let me come on and talk about what I do because without people like you helping me spread the word, it would be a lot more challenging. So I'm really
yes.
grateful to the time that you've given me
Oh,
here
I'm
today.
grateful for you. And I've actually sent a few children your way. A lot of the children that come to me that are very open to hypnosis and the energy work that I do. A lot of these children that have, especially if they've had any sort of major medical issue, they can
Mhm.
be loaded with spiritual energies that they sense, see, and feel, but they don't know what to do about it. So
Mhm.
once they come to myself and my team and we clear all of these spirits around them, then helping them to tap in with their divine guides, be it Mary or Jesus or a unicorn or a magical fairy. They love, love, love connecting, and then they'll say, I can't tell any of my friends this. This
Yes.
is hard for them because they have this incredible ability to tap into the unseen world, but they can't share it with anybody. And they
Mhm.
need to. They need to have a safe place of kindred spirits, friends, to where they can feel validated and comfortable
Mhm.
sharing what their experience, what their real true knowing is.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah, I love that. You're talking about the children that you work with too. It's taking all of us who
Yes.
have this passion for supporting children to create this foundation for children to grow up knowing that it's safe to feel all of this stuff, to experience it, and to share it.
Mhm. Yeah.
So thank you for the work you're doing too.
Oh, we're finding each other, and it's really important because it takes a community to raise and to support one another and our beautiful children and the parents of the children too. I've had parents that have some of these children that are so aware, and the parent is saying, "What do I do with this?
Right.
I don't know how to handle. She knows so much, and I don't know how to answer her." So your spirit camp for parents and for adults helps them when they've got these amazingly awakened children to give them the tools to be able to
Yes.
help to nurture in a good way the amazing
Yes,
children.
absolutely. Yep.
Yeah. Wonderful. So wonderful. Do you have anything else you'd like to share? I kind of want to sign up myself.
Well, you are always welcome. Just that I really hold in my heart the message that I received years ago that the world is ready and the children are waiting.
Yes.
And for those people who are listening to this recording, I think it's so important for us to realize that they're waiting for us.
Mhm. Mhm.
They are waiting to be guided and mentored and supported because they need these tools. They need the vocabulary. They need um, to be able to trust that it's okay to talk about this stuff. So I think in closing, I would love to remind everyone that this is the time. It is now. We are the change we've been waiting for,
We are that.
and the
And
world is ready, and the children are waiting.
And the children have chosen to come at this point in time. The spirits of these children, there are some amazing souls that are coming in now to
Mhm.
help carry us into this next era of peace and grace and real awareness of nature. So
Yes.
wonderful, wonderful what you're doing. Thank you so much.
You.
We'll put everything in the text so that people can know how to get a hold of you, Ava. And such a blessing and so much good luck this summer with all of your efforts and endeavors.
Thank you so much. I
You're
appreciate it.
welcome. Until next time, everyone, look up, stay positive, and be the light in someone's day. God bless.